Hello, and welcome to this new podcast. I am so excited to get started on this new journey. And for this very first episode, I just wanted to come out here and talk about the why and the what. And for everyone who doesn't know me, the who behind this podcast. And to start off, I just wanted to talk about the name. And I picked Life Reimagined because I wanted to acknowledge and nurture that deep knowing and voice in your heart that keeps saying, what if it could get better? What if there's more possible? What if life is not meant to be this way and it's supposed to be more abundant, more full of love, more full of joy? And so, if you have this yearning and this voice inside you, I just really want to say, me too. And all my life has actually been about just reaching out for that which I know exists, even if society says it doesn't. That better relationship, that better health, that better success, money flowing in with ease, whatever it is, even if it feels unrealistic, if it feels like too much of an ideal world, even if it feels like a fairy tale, the intuition inside just keeps whispering, it's possible, it's out there, you can go get it. And so if you are one of them, welcome to this. And even if you don't resonate with this, but there is something inside you that's drawing you to this, hold on, because it will all start making sense soon enough. So we're not only going to strengthen this inner voice and this intuition that keeps saying that life is better and that you can learn to let go of old limitations, expand your horizon, and create a life that you truly worth love living, but also learn how to actually get there. How do I actually receive that much more beautiful life for me? So, this podcast is for all those who know that life could be more, but don't know how to get there. So, people who don't want to settle for a mediocre life, but to create a life that you actually love living. And when I say we don't want to settle for a mediocre life, but an extravagant one, I don't necessarily mean that it needs to be flashy with big cars and designer items and rich and beautiful on the outside, but I'm talking about how rich and beautiful it feels on the inside. And if designer bags and clothes are what make you feel great on the inside, then so be it. But the point is that no one gets to decide what your ideal life should look like except for you. Because we get so caught up in everyone else's script, in everyone else's ideas of how things should be, that we completely lose track of what our heart actually desires, what truly makes us happy. And then we find ourselves burnt out, unhappy, dissatisfied, frustrated, even after we have achieved everything that people have told us to run after. Whether it be success, money, relationships, whatever it is. But because we didn't take the time to define what success means to us, what money means to us, what a healthy relationship looks like to us, we are simply living someone else's idea of perfect life and wondering why we are not happy. So, if you've ever felt like you're meant for something more, you're absolutely in the right place. You can expect real conversations, practical tools, deep insights to help you grow, heal, and step into the most authentic self and most authentic life. No fluff, no toxic positivity, just real talk about things that will actually shift your life. So, my journey into this whole field of self work and healing started because of my own personal struggle. So, I had asthma as a child, and even after going for all different kinds of therapies and medicines and going from one doctor to another, I was still living under a lot of restrictions about what to eat, what not to eat, whether I can play in the rain or not, whether I can go out where there's any sort of dust, and a whole lot of very tiny, small restrictions, but they completely engulfed my life, and I felt this very heavy energy because I couldn't do anything freely without having to think twice about, oh, is this going to affect my health? And this was a very crucial turning point where I had to make a decision. I had to decide whether I want to accept this, and I want to just live with it, like my doctors would tell me, or I wanted to change my story and I wanted to decide that no, this is not okay. I I can have a better life, right? Because my doctors had told me that you have to just learn to live with it. You have to learn to live with these restrictions of not eating chocolates, anything fried, not being able to play sports for too long, not being able to eat anything cold, anything with any sort of food color, and a whole lot of other things. But that voice inside that tells you that this is not okay, this is not how life is meant to look like, that is the voice that actually makes the whole difference. And I had that voice very, very strongly inside me, fortunately enough, that kept telling me that no, this is not how things are supposed to be. I can get better. I don't have to necessarily live with this diagnosis that this is an incurable disease, and I just have to learn to deal with it. So that voice inside is actually what creates all the shift. Once you have that, all the books, all the resources, all the necessary information will start flowing in, because now the intention is there, now that clarity is there, that no, things need to change and it needs to get better. And that's what sort of happened, where I came across this book called The Power of a Subconscious Mind, which is one of my favorite books because it was such a turning point, where I realized that my mind is stronger than anything, and that everything outside of me is just a mirror. It's just because of my thoughts, and if I change my thoughts and my feelings and my patterns, I can change my world outside. I can change and transform my health. And it spoke about visualization and meditation and all those things. And so I started doing that, and I remember every night before I went to sleep, I would lie down on my bed and visualize myself eating ice cream freely, really just enjoying it and not worrying about whether it's going to flare up my breathlessness. And I did that every day for I don't know how long, um, but it worked. It completely worked. And a few years down the line, maybe 1 or 2 years down the line, I was able to do that. I was able to recreate that exact scenario in my reality, where I went out for an ice cream, I had it, and everything was just perfectly fine. And so here I am today, healed, not living under any sort of food restrictions, being able to play sports, being able to do everything. And this completely changed my entire life trajectory. Decided what I would do for a living as well. Um, and so now I am a health psychologist, a coach. I've been a course creator and a facilitator for about 3 years now. And everything I talk about is always a combination of my training, of course, all these courses that I've signed up for, all the training that I've gone through, but more importantly, also my own experience with that particular thing, whether it be mind body, whether it be manifestation, whether it be self love, body image, rewriting your mindset. Um, all those topics that I will be talking about, it all has a layer of my own experience with it. Because let's be honest, textbooks don't teach you much, right? And even the courses that you sign up for or the books that you read will give you the knowledge, they will give you the structure, but it's only when you put things to use and you experiment with it and you see what's happening with it is when you learn what works and what doesn't. So I'm here to give you the most extracted, consolidated data about what works, what doesn't work, how to do it, how to go about it, um, and how to create a life that is truly yours. So, with that, the introduction is done. We're done with the basic stuff, and it's time to dive in to claim that beautiful life that's out there waiting for you. So, until the next episode, I want to leave you with one question. And this is probably going to be a theme for all the episodes, leaving you with something to introspect on. So, here's the question: if you could change one thing about your life right now, what would it be? Without overthinking, if you could change one thing about your life, what would it be?